The modern world of the internet offers us limitless opportunities. It allows us to be closer to information, opens avenues for self-expression, and facilitates communication with people around the globe. But along with these possibilities come dangers we don't always think about. Behind the mask of fun games and challenges lurks a real threat to the lives and mental well-being of people. Today, I will tell you about 3 shocking stories that took place in the digital space. These are stories about horrific pranks, deadly encounters through the internet, and dangerous challenges that threaten the safety of young people. Swatting, deadly pranks. Let's start with a phenomenon that has become especially widespread in the US in recent years: swatting. Swatting occurs when a perpetrator calls the police and reports a serious incident, such as a hostage situation or a bomb threat, at a false address. The police, taking the report seriously, send a SWAT team for an emergency response. The goal of the prankster is to scare the victim or create trouble, often doing so during live streams, where the streamer or public figure is unaware that their home is surrounded by armed officers. But what seems like a funny prank can have tragic consequences. A striking example is the tragedy that occurred in Wichita, Kansas, in 2017. It all started with a simple argument between 2 players in an online game. During the dispute, one player decided to teach the other a lesson by contacting a third party, who agreed to make a false police call. The perpetrator reported a murder and hostage situation at the opponent's address. The police arrived quickly. Imagine this. You have no idea what's going on. You simply open the door to your home, and you're met with the barrel of a gun. That's exactly what happened to Andrew Finch, who stepped outside and was fatally shot by the police. He had no connection to the argument that escalated during the game, but his life ended due to a reckless and dangerous game of swatting. This tragedy highlighted how dangerous fake calls can be, and how difficult it is to determine when a threat isn't real. After this incident, the perpetrator was arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison. However, the question remains: are these measures strict enough to prevent such pranks in the future? That question remains open. The Rotenberg Cannibal. The internet can not only connect people, but also open doors to the darkest corners of human consciousness. In 2001, the world was shocked by a story that took place in Germany. The story of the so-called Rotenberg cannibal, Armin Mewes. Mewes was an ordinary resident of a small town, but his interests were far from normal. Through an online forum, he began searching for people willing to become his victims for a horrific fantasy. And cannibalism, what seems like a bizarre absurdity, became a reality when one man, Bernd Brandes, voluntarily agreed to meet Mewes to be killed and eaten. They communicated for a long time, planning the details, and eventually met to carry out the plan. During this horrifying encounter, Mewes followed through. He killed Brandes and partially consumed his body. But the most shocking part of this story was that the victim had willingly agreed to his own death. This created a legal precedent in Germany, raising the question: can a person voluntarily agree to be killed? And is it a crime if they wish it? Despite the victim's consent, Mewes was convicted of murder. The court ruled that, regardless of the circumstances, taking another person's life is a crime. This case drew attention to how the internet can become a place for the realization of humanity's darkest fantasies. While such individuals once remained isolated in their thoughts, modern technology now enables them to find like-minded individuals and bring their dark desires to life. Disappearance games, dangerous challenges. The internet is filled with viral challenges that quickly capture attention, especially among the youth. Most are harmless and fun, but sometimes challenges emerge that are dangerous, even deadly. One such challenge was the Disappear for 24 Hours challenge, which surfaced in 2018. The idea was for participants to vanish for a day without informing anyone, including family or friends, of their whereabouts. For teenagers, this might seem like a fun idea. They sought the thrill, the reaction of their loved ones, and the attention it could bring on social media. But for their families, this challenge became a real tragedy. When a child disappeared, parents would panic, thinking something terrible had happened. Often the police were involved, and only after 24 hours did they learn it was just another internet challenge, One such case occurred in Belgium, when a group of teenagers disappeared simultaneously, prompting a community-wide search. Parents were in shock, and the police worked tirelessly to find the children. When they were located a day later, the teens explained that they were participating in the challenge and hadn't realized the consequences. This incident served as a serious warning to society that not all internet games are safe. Young people are easily influenced, and the consequences of such challenges can be devastating not only for them, but for their loved ones. The internet allows information to spread quickly, but it also opens the door to manipulation that can lead to disaster. Conclusion. These 3 stories are just a small glimpse into the dark side of the internet. We often consider the digital world a safe place for entertainment and communication, but it can also become a tool for terrible crimes and manipulation. From fake police calls to real cases of cannibalism and dangerous challenges, the internet can turn a person's life upside down in mere hours. It's important to remember that every action in the virtual world can have real consequences, sometimes ones we can't foresee.